What happens when your own brother destroys your career and your parents take his side? After earning my computer science degree, I thought I was helping family when my older brother recruited me for his new financial investment company. What started as one summer of infrastructure setup turned into 2 years of exploitation that would ultimately destroy my relationship with my entire family. My brother and his two partners used me as their personal everything: secretary, receptionist, systems tech, accountant, research analyst, while paying me a total of $7,000 over 24 months of full-time work. When I finally left to start graduate school, they were furious that I wouldn't abandon my education to continue being their unpaid employee. I thought the worst was behind me until I finished my degree and started job hunting. That's when I discovered the true extent of their vindictiveness and how far they were willing to go to punish me for leaving. Every promising job interview ended the same way: companies telling me they couldn't hire someone who had lied on their resume and fabricated work experience. My brother and his partners were systematically contacting potential employers, denying I had ever worked for them and claiming I was trying to use family connections dishonestly. But their slander campaign went even darker when they began accusing me of visiting their office to sexually harass female employees they never actually had. When I called them desperate for answers about why they were destroying my career, all three of them just laughed at me like I was entertainment. They told me this was what I deserved for messing with them, treating my professional destruction like some amusing game. They thought they could force me back into unpaid servitude by making me unemployable anywhere else. My school counselors and career services helped me understand that I had no choice but to sue for defamation and wage theft to clear my name. No reputable company would hire someone with fabricated sexual harassment allegations following them around. When my brother received the lawsuit papers, he called me just to laugh about it, confident that his attorney friends would crush my case for free. That's when my family's true nature revealed itself in ways that still haunt me. My father dismissed the entire situation as big brother bullying little brother nonsense and demanded I drop the lawsuit immediately. When I refused, my parents uninvited me from Thanksgiving dinner and began pressuring me to just sit down and work things out like family should. My attorney warned me that my parents weren't neutral parties and that I should prepare for them to actively work against me. He was right in ways I never could have imagined. During depositions, both my parents testified under oath, but instead of telling the truth, they lied to protect my brother's criminal behavior. My mother claimed there had been a verbal agreement for me to work in exchange for room and board, insisting she'd witnessed me refusing payment multiple times. Watching my own mother lie about me in court while refusing to make eye contact was devastating beyond description. She had raised me, knew my character, understood exactly what her older son had done to me, and chose to sacrifice our relationship to protect his reputation. My father's testimony was equally false, but somehow expected given his history of corruption and moral flexibility. The laptop I'd used while working contained evidence that my brother and his partners had stolen client lists from their previous employers before starting their company. When I finally turned this over to my attorney, it triggered a federal investigation that revealed forgery, tax fraud, and identity theft. They had been using my name on documents I'd never signed, involving me in illegal activities without my knowledge. My two sisters, who initially supported me completely, suddenly changed their position after my father reminded them about the money he'd loaned them for their houses. They uninvited me from Christmas celebrations and cut off contact, clearly coerced into choosing sides based on financial leverage. Even my girlfriend's scathing responses to their betrayal couldn't undo the family destruction that was spreading like wildfire. The legal battle consumed months of our lives, but eventually my brother's company collapsed under the weight of their criminal behavior. They lost their financial licenses permanently, faced federal criminal charges, and were forced to sell their homes to pay the settlement. The written apology and admission of guilt they had to provide felt hollow compared to the family relationships that lay in ruins. My attorney had warned me that legal battles like this tear families apart for decades, and he was absolutely right. The damage done during those depositions, particularly my mother's betrayal, created wounds that may never heal. Sometimes standing up for yourself costs everything you thought you could count on, but letting people destroy your future isn't really an option either. The irony is that I was the only family member who didn't owe my father money, the only one who'd maintained regular contact with my mother, the only one who'd worried about their well-being over the years. Yet when forced to choose, they sacrificed their relationship with me to protect the son who had exploited me for years and nearly ruined my life out of spite. Justice came with a price that's still being paid years later.